Hi, Kitchen Kings and Queens. Today we're going to be making scalloped potatoes. Not potatoes au gratin, but scalloped potatoes. Okay, which are a little bit more simple. Usually they're made with milk. I'm going to richen them up a little bit with cream. So we're going to get started. So I have some Idaho potatoes here, and I have this great Kuhn Rakan peeler. This is the one that I prefer to use just because it's just so easy to use. So I'm actually gonna try and make sure that you can see everything that I'm doing. Okay, so we are making scalloped potatoes, so there's really not very much cooking involved. There's a lot of baking. And there is a little bit. You want to heat up the milk, or in this case the cream, and half a little bit. So I am going to do that, and we'll use the induction burner there. I could show you one of my new finds too. So this weekend me and my mom went to this great outlet for an Italian company called Sambone. So that company is a manufacturer of basically any sort of tableware. They've kind of developed this great collection of brands. So they make stuff for buffet service, for hotel service. That's Sambone's main area of focus, but they also own a cookware company from Italy called Paderno, and that's the pot that we're going to use. I just got the lid for it there, but they have all matter pots. I got a huge pot from them too, so I will share that later when we do a video for that. So I'm actually going to just peel the potatoes. I'm going to chit chat with you while I do so. You're going to see this was supposed to be for my sister-in-law's Yom Kippur fast break that she invited me to for her family. As I mentioned before, my sister-in-law is Jewish, and I'm getting to experience all these great new traditions and celebrations that I've not really had any experience with. So I'm just very lucky that to have them in my life, the Zimbergs and Lori, and also to be invited to these things. I feel very honored when I am there, and I am very, very sad that I did not get to make these potatoes for that dinner. So, as I understand it, Yom Kippur is when Jewish people atone, and part of that atonement is that they fast throughout the day during that process, and then they have a meal to break that fast, and that's what I was invited to. So if I'm getting this wrong, please correct me, any of my Jewish friends and viewers. But that's what I understand to be the situation. So it was a very nice time. I got to spend some quality time with my little nephew Joshie. He was very much channeling his Uncle Joey because he was ready to go to bed. He was a little hungry. I fed him, And then he was cranky because he wanted to go to bed. And I'm like, I understand you. I can relate to that. You are like your uncle. So he did go to bed, and he was a perfect little angel, like always. Okay, so I think that's enough potatoes, at least to get me started. That's about half of a 5-pound bag. Well, we'll do one more. So the reason why I could not get this done is because I started the passata making for the tomatoes, and that took a lot longer than I thought. So that video will be coming out because today's Sunday, and I am going to brunch with my family at the German club I belong to. And then afterwards, we're going to come back here and we're going to finish the passata. So you will be able to hopefully get that video and this video. And if I'm able to, I'll do the Echo Flint cookware too. But you'll definitely get this video this week. Alright, so I have the food processor outfitted with the thick plate. Okay, I'm going to just use the pulse function. Bam, it's done. I mean, this food processor, it makes light work. Gosh, that one even sliced before it even got into there. Okay, so this recipe, I'm gonna pop on the oven too. I'm setting the oven to 400. I'm probably gonna bake it at 300, but that way it'll be nice and warm. Okay, so that's the potatoes. Now, we don't cook the potatoes. So usually when I do this, I cook the potatoes, but we're not going to do that. So, alright, I'm going to take the potatoes, I'm going to clear out the food processor, or at least switch appliance views. Okay. So, we're going to move our stuff over here. Those peels, clear those out later. And I'm going to shift over the induction cooktop. Again, this today is that stove. This I think is going to get used. I think I'm going to use this to heat up the oh gosh, what is it? The passata that we made. Because I didn't get a chance to jar the passata that I made. So it has to be at the right temperature as everything else. So I'm probably going to have to heat that up. And that pan is a induction ready pan. So that one should be fine for me to use on here. So that stove, again, even though I have like a 6-burner stove, that's going to be really utilized today. It's really going to get a workout. Okay, so I put about a cup of milk, and then I'm putting about a cup of cream. I'm going to just put this whole thing. And then at the top of this cream, there's like a little kind of creme de la creme, I guess you would call it. So I'm just going to get that in there too. That will help to kind of thicken this sauce. Okay, so okay, so this is the new lid I got for this pan, okay? So that's the Paderno one. I'm gonna turn this on, and I'm doing it kind of like medium high, okay? While I'm doing that, I'm gonna layer the potatoes in here, okay? And I'm gonna kind of be intentional and purposeful in putting these potatoes in, because you really don't need to do really anything other than pour the cream on. So we're just gonna kind of layer this on. I was super honored. Lori's aunt, or I'm sorry, her cousin, Lenore, when I was there, I felt so bad because she was like, she came up to me. I was in the kitchen with Josh, just chilling. And she goes, "Oh, what did you make?" She's like, "I want to make sure I don't miss it." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't make anything." So I felt very, very honored that she wanted to make sure that she got my food. But then I also felt very sad that I didn't make anything. But it's okay. We had a nice time. Alright, so I'm going to put a little garlic powder, or garlic salt, I'm sorry. Then I'm going to put some cracked pepper. And then I'm going to put some chives, okay? So the chives really add just a little bit of color. They add a nice, like, additional flavor. And then I'm going to top it with this Maldon garlic sea salt, the flaky sea salt, because that is going to add like a really nice crunch on the top, where most of the oh gosh, I'm sorry, it's early, my brain has not waken up quite yet, but that's okay. That's where most of the cream kind of congeals on the top, so that will add a nice crust. Now, a lot of recipes and a lot of times they have you, even if it's scalloped potatoes, which don't generally have cheese, they top it with some Parmesan. I really tried not to do that when I made this recipe this way the first time. Usually I make kind of like a hybrid scallop au gratin potato, okay? And I usually layer in cheese, cream. I usually cook the potatoes ahead of time, and that's how I do it. But this time, I literally just did it with the cream, and it was so good, and it was so easy. I mean, we're almost done this. And everything's gonna kind of be ready at the same time. Okay, so this cream is just about ready. The oven is preheating. That's just about ready. I'm almost done layering. I bet you that by the time I'm done with this last layer, that the oven will go off. Oh, there we go. Nope, I was a little short. And the cream will be ready. So the cream is just about ready. So, alright, I was a little off. That's fine. So, oh, this outlet. Let me go back to that. Okay, if you are in the Northwest New Jersey area near Morristown or up near the lake region, near like Lake Hopatcong or Stanhope or one of anywhere near there. They're off of, it's on Route 10 in Randolph, New Jersey. Is the Paderno San Bonnet outlet. And they have all manner of kitchenware. I mean, this company really did a great job of acquiring brands that were complementary to each other. So, like, pretty much anything related to the kitchen is available at this outlet between the brands that they have. So they have a really nice tableware. They own Rosenthal China, so it's really, I mean, really high quality stuff. So this is good. So if you're in that area, it is really going to be worth your trip. Now it's only open till 10 to 3, okay? And that's the hours that you kind of have to get there. They're also having a warehouse sale this weekend, which I'm definitely going to. Come hell or high water, I'm going there. Okay. So, now, it looks very, very soupy, okay? It is very soupy, okay? But, it's going to cook, and it is going to firm up. Those potatoes are going to absorb all of that. I'm going to use this flaky sea salt on top. And this looks like it has, at first I was like, oh, are these chives? No, this is, I mean, they pretty much are chives. It has dried wild garlic in it. So that's like a nice addition to, and we're just going to put a little bit of freshly ground pepper on top. And then we're going to cover it with some aluminum foil. And that's it. We'll bake it for like an hour and check on it. And if it needs more time, then we'll keep it in there. But that's all there is to this. So we'll come back when it's done. You can take a look and see what the finished product is. You're not even going to recognize it. So actually, before I cover this, let me show you. So this is what the finished product is like. Okay, that liquid is going to kind of boil down and get absorbed into the potatoes. And that's going to be the finished product. Do that for, let's see. Oh boy. I think I need some more coffee. My brain is not awake yet. I don't know. I was so excited about everything today that I could not sleep. So I got up way earlier than I anticipated. And that's probably why my brain is not working. Okay, so we'll come back for that. And then we'll talk a little bit more. Alright? Bye, Kitchen Kings and Queens. See you soon. Okay, Kitchen Kings and Queens. The potatoes are done. Okay, I wish you could smell it. It smells so creamy and delicious. I'm gonna just put a little fork in here and show you this. So as you can see, it really has cooked down, and it looks, you know, very golden on the top. But if you look underneath, it's very creamy. So you get this nice golden crust on the top, and then you get this delicious creaminess in the middle. So I'm gonna taste this. I'm gonna taste it off camera, and it smells very, very milky or very cheesy. That's what's really great, and it looks like there's cheese on the top. There is no cheese on there. Okay, that is just the cream congealed and caramelized, and that really gives it that flavor. And that's why I wanted to try and do this recipe the first time I did it this way, without the cheese, to see if we could really get the cream to shine. And that's really what we get here. Oh, wow. They are perfect. I mean, they're creamy, they're rich, they just have everything you could ever imagine in there. Now, to give you an update on the timing, I did another 20 minutes. So I initially did it for an hour and 10 minutes. So an hour and 30 minutes total was the cooking time at 400. I would say if you don't want such a golden topping, you could probably do 110 or 120 with 375, and you could probably also cut down the time. So that, I guess, sorry. The last 20 minutes I did uncovered. And I think if you uncovered them at about like halfway through cooking, let's say, or 3/4 of the way through, you could kind of cut down on the cooking time. You wouldn't be so golden brown and delicious, but they are perfect as they are. But if you are like, it's a little too bunch of crunch, as Tanara Double Chocolate says in her videos. If you think it's a little too, it's not. It just looks very golden on the top. It is tender. There's not any crispiness. Now, this side part, that is probably crispy, but you're not eating that. That's just kind of baked onto the pan, and that it'll come off in the dishwasher, believe it or not. This is exactly what the pot looked like the first time, or the pan. And it came out perfectly clean after a run through the Miele dishwasher. So, okay, I hope you try this. It's a great recipe for any dish, any meat dish. If you wanted to just do a sides meal, this would be the star of the show for sure. Maybe that, or macaroni and cheese would be the star, and then some delicious roasted or sauteed or slow roasted vegetables, or blanched vegetables if you want something really light and fresh. But going into the winter months, which it's not that now, it's like summertime out there, it's like 80 degrees. So we're not quite there at summer yet, or winter. Not even fall, really. The trees haven't changed colors. They were changing colors, though, up in northern New Jersey, especially in northwest New Jersey. But here, they're still lush and verdant green. So hopefully they'll be changing in the next couple weeks as we get deeper into October. But this right here, this is a winter, cool weather comfort food. So when that temperature drops a little bit, grab a bag of potatoes and a container of cream and make this dish. I think that you will really enjoy it. Okay, bye Kitchen Kings and Queens. See you later. We'll be back later on today for our next episode with the tomatoes. So the first half of the tomatoes is already up. So if you're interested in checking that out, you'll notice a little cast change when we do part 2, where we actually do the canning, because Jim, my friend, helped me there, but now it's going to be a family affair. All right, see you soon. Bye, Kitchen Kings and Queens.